Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for a very exciting and special Uniworld webinar. My name is Anna. I'm an Industry Relations Manager here at CLIA, and I'm going to just quickly go through some housekeeping before introducing our presenter. This webinar will run about 30 minutes with time for questions at the end. Please feel free to type your questions into the questions module of the webinar, and we'll get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on CLIA's YouTube channel, which is CLIA Global. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Eddie Mestre. Eddie is the Director of Sales for the Velvet Collection, which includes Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, Insight Vacations, Luxury Gold, the Red Carnation Hotels, and African Travel. Eddie has been in the travel industry for over 14 years, and the last 5 of those with the Travel Corporation and the Uniworld family. And with that, take it away, Eddie.
Thank you so much, Anna, and thank you all so much for taking the time to join me on the webinar today. So today I am going to be going over some of those key pillars and hallmarks of what we offer with Uniworld, but also what's new for this year in 2021 and going forward in 2022. But before I begin the presentation, I did want to share with you all a short little video of what your clients can expect on board our ships.
How do you elevate the #1 river cruise line? We have a few ideas. It's the #1 river cruise line like you've never seen it before. 4 new super ships coming soon.
So we're actually very excited to announce that we are operating right now with 11 of our ships in Europe. And as you saw, we have some brand new ships that just debuted this year, which I'll go over in a few slides as well. But before I do begin, I just want to give a little bit of a background of who we are. So with Uniworld, we are a family-owned company. As Anna mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, I'm very fortunate to represent Uniworld, Insight Vacation, Luxury Gold, African Travel, and the Red Carnation Hotels. But as you can see on this slide as well, the Tolman family, the owners of Uniworld, are also the same owners of Trafalgar, Kentucky, African Travel, as I mentioned, Insight, Luxury Gold, so over 40 brands with the Travel Corporation. And we are celebrating 45 years of service this year, which we're extremely excited about. And once again, we are an all-inclusive experience. So that is going to start off with our culinary, which is that farm-to-table philosophy that we offer.
Eddie,
so our chefs...
Sorry to interrupt really quick. It seems like we're not seeing your slides. Is there a way for you to... There you go. Perfect.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Alrighty, great. Thank you so much, Anna. So we are that all-inclusive experience, and our chefs do get off at those local destinations, go to the local farmers market, and get those fresh, locally sourced ingredients. So everything on board our ships is going to be catered towards the destinations that we're going to be visiting, and that also starts off with the culinary. So if your clients, for instance, are going to be visiting Austria, Vienna, we'll have schnitzel on board. If we're in Hungary, we'll have goulash on board. The wine is also going to be from those local regions and vineyards that we're going to be visiting as well. So if we're visiting the beautiful Douro River in Portugal with our brand new ship that we have there, the SSL Gabriel, we are going to have that port wine on board. If we're down the Huachu Valley, down the Danube River, we're going to have a nice Riesling on board. In the Bordeaux region that we have, Burgundy and Provence, so all the wine that we have on board is also going to be catered towards those destinations that we're going to be visiting. But all the premium alcohol for your clients and guests is also going to be included. So it's not just the wine. We do have about 18 different whiskeys on board, 12 different vodkas, 11 different rums, so quite a large variety of options for your clients and guests to choose from. The beers also even from some of those local breweries as well that we're going to be visiting from these incredible countries and cities as well. And then the transfers round trip are going to be included for your clients and guests. So we will be picking up your clients from the airport, bring them to the ship, and then back as well when they return from their cruise. So the transfers are included as long as they come in within the parameters, which is 5 a.m. or after the date of embarkation. Then the gratuities for the onboard employees would also be included. And our employees on board are not just contracted staff members, they are employees of Uniworld and they're part of the Uniworld family. And the reason I mention this is because your clients are really going to be receiving that very genuine, very anticipatory service on board our ships. And the average tenureship is about 8.5 years. So our staff, our employees on board are very knowledgeable about all the countries and rivers that we're going to be cruising through. So the gratuities are also included for your clients and guests for the onboard employees, and Wi-Fi throughout the entire fleet is also going to be included. But my favorite part are the excursions. We have very unique excursions, over 70 unique excursions for Uniworld guests. As you can see on this particular slide, we have something called Morning with the Masters, where we're visiting the Vienna Art Museum, the Van Gogh Museum, the Hermitage Museum, when nobody else is there. We're visiting some of the beautiful basilicas like St. Mark's Basilica in Venice after hours. We're also having some unique excursions, as you can see, with the vineyards and chateaus throughout all the wine regions that we're going to be visiting. And we even have about 25 bikes on board all of our ships throughout Europe that your clients and guests can use to explore those beautiful cities and towns that we're going to be visiting. So they can kind of just venture off and explore those cities, or they can do some of the guided tours that we offer as well. And then you can see here some of those other amazing excursions, such as golfing in the beaches of Etretat in our Paris and Normandy itinerary. So this is an incredible, beautiful excursion where golf would be included in that Paris and Normandy overlooking those beaches of Etretat beaches. And then as far as our ships, what really makes Uniworld unique is not just our incredible one-of-a-kind ships, but every single stateroom and suite inside of those ships as well. So no two ships that we have in our fleet are alike. Every single ship is going to be catered towards those destinations that we're going to be visiting. And you can see some of those pictures here of the beautiful Joie de Vie, suite number 401 that we have on the bottom right-hand corner. The beautiful SS La Venencia, which is brand new for this year on the top right-hand corner. And then our brand new ship that we have, the SS Bon Voyage, doing our Bordeaux itinerary on the left-hand corner. But as I mentioned, not only is every ship going to be different, but every suite on board the same ship is going to be different as well. And as I mentioned, the Tolman families are the owners of Uniworld, and Mrs. Tolman is still very much involved with everything that you see here as far as the carpeting, the curtains, the chairs. Everything is hand-selected by Mrs. Tolman and her daughter, Toni Tolman. And what I love is all the attention to detail that you can see on this particular slide. So not just the fresh flowers, fresh fruits, but we also have even down to the French-inspired books, the Italian-inspired books. So all the suites are going to have that very much attention to detail that we have throughout the entire ship with the fresh flowers, fresh fruits, but also even the books inspired to the destinations that we're going to be visiting. And then you can see here some of the amenities that would be included for our suite guests. We have our European butler service. So there's 2 dedicated butlers that we have on board all of our ships. We have the Asprey bath amenities, the fully stocked bars. So some great amenities for your clients and guests. We also have dry cleaning service that would be available, laundry service for your clients and guests, shoe shine service. So just a lot of great amenities that are going to be available for all suite members. And then as far as wellness on the water, we do have some incredible onboard activities. I talked about those bikes that we have that your clients and guests can use, but we also have a fitness center on board all of our ships in Europe. We have TRX systems with TRX bands. There's also yoga classes available on board our ships. And 5 of our ships have indoor pools, and we do have 2 ships with outdoor pools as well. So a lot of great onboard activities for your clients and guests, and also excursions with different hikes, kayaking that are going to be available throughout all these incredible countries that we're visiting. And we do have a couple of variety of themed cruises, one of them being our generation programs. So this is great for families that are going to be traveling with multi-generationals. or multi-gen travel, because kids between the ages of 4 to 17 do receive a discounted rate. There's also going to be a lot of great onboard activities for them to enjoy, such as you can see here on this slide, cooking classes. They learn the local language. There's arts and crafts activities on board as well. And then we have some great excursions like zip lining, kayaking, or scavenger hunts for the whole family to enjoy as well. We also have our Jewish heritage themed cruises, and this is going to be on both the Danube River and the Rhine River year round. So this is on our delightful Danube itinerary and remarkable Rhine itinerary. And this is where your clients and guests can learn a little bit more about the Jewish history, visit some of the synagogues, memorials, and also museums as well. We also have our connoisseur collection, which is for those wine and culinary enthusiasts. It's going to be on our France itinerary, so our Burgundy and Provence, Bordeaux itineraries. A lot more cooking classes, more wine tastings that would be available. And then our holiday themed cruises, so some of those beautiful holiday markets throughout Europe that we would be visiting as well. And then some great benefits for solo travelers. We have some amazing promotions for departures for this year, where we're waiving that single supplement on several departures throughout the remainder of 2021. So where do we travel, and what new destinations and itineraries and ships do we have? So we are predominantly in Europe. So most of our ships are in Europe, but we do have some exotic destinations that we visit as well, such as Vietnam and Cambodia, which we have a brand new ship there. Egypt, which we have a brand new ship, the SS Sphinx, which I'll go over in a couple slides as well. We have a ship on the Ganges River in India, one in Peru. So I will go over all those details, but we have some great exotic destinations. But most of our ships, once again, are in Europe, Central Europe. We have 3 ships in France as well. 1 ship in Italy on the Po River, docked right in the heart of Venice, and then 1 ship as well in Portugal. But I do want to start off with those new ships. As you can see here, the Mekong Jewel, the SS São Gabriel in Portugal, the SS La Venezia in Italy, and the SS Sphinx in Egypt. So starting off with the Mekong Jewel, she is absolutely stunning, as you can see on this particular slide. Only 68 guests with 51 employees on board. So almost that 1-to-1 guest to staff ratio that we're going to be offering on board the Mekong Jewel. And with Uniworld, we are a very intimate experience. So our ships on average accommodate about 120 guests with less than a 3-to-1 staff to guest ratio. And as you can see on this one, it's almost a 1-to-1. The largest suite is 924 square feet, so quite spacious accommodations, beautifully appointed. You have the marble bathrooms, the gilded mirrors, as you can see here. I mean, spacious accommodations for the suites. And then the itinerary, it's a 13-day itinerary. We start off in Ho Chi Minh City and end in Siem Reap. The cruise portion is 7 days down the Mekong River, but we have the land portion that's tied together to it, where your clients and guests can enjoy and see the beautiful monuments in Vietnam and Cambodia. In Cambodia, I know we are visiting the Angkor Wat, the Angkor Thom, so all these beautiful UNESCO heritage monuments throughout. And then the SS La Venezia. This ship is absolutely stunning. She recently debuted in June, so we were the first river cruise line to debut and also to start cruising in Europe. And she debuted back in June. We're docked a 10-minute walking distance from St. Mark's Square, right in the heart of the city center. So we are one of the few cruise lines that are able to cruise through the lagoons in Italy and in Venice. So this ship is once again going to be catered towards the destinations. You can see the Venetian masks, all the Murano glass, and just incredible amenities and features that we have on board the ship. We do have on the sun deck 2 brick ovens that make custom pizzas. The gelato on board is absolutely phenomenal. And then some very unique excursions that we're going to have. So we're visiting St. Mark's Basilica after hours when nobody else is there. We're docked for 2 nights in Venice, visiting one of the nights the Basilica. And we actually, for those of you who have traveled to Venice and visited the Basilica, it is open just for Uniworld guests. So as some of you may know, there's hundreds or even thousands of guests in St. Mark's Square at a time. And we're going to be going to St. Mark's Basilica with only about 40 guests. And I actually had the opportunity to take this excursion. And as soon as I walked into the Basilica, it was completely dark. And they slowly started to illuminate all the lights. And you saw all the gold surrounding the Basilica. It was just absolutely stunning. We also have access and we see the Palo de Oro, which is this beautiful mosaic painting on the altar, but on the back of it, there's hundreds and thousands of rubies and gems and diamonds, and just absolutely gorgeous. And that's only shown once a year to the general public on feast day. And that is shown every single time to all of our Uniworld guests that would be available. We also visit Doge's Palace in the morning time. We go to the beautiful city of Bologna and do a pasta making class there. We're also overnighting in Burano, which is that beautiful island with all the colorful houses, great excursions of lace making in Burano. And we're visiting the islands of Torcello and Mazzorbo, where we're doing some wine tastings and some other exclusive excursions. So I highly recommend this itinerary for your clients and guests. And then the beautiful SS Gabrielle. So she is one of our ships that we have on outdoor pool on. She debuted 2 months ago. So she actually debuted in July. Once again, only about 100 guests on board the SS Gabrielle with about 37 employees on board. And she does a beautiful 7-day cruise down the Douro River. We start off in Porto. We go into the beautiful golden city of Salamanca in Spain, and then back to Porto. This is great for your clients that want to do a little bit more of the wine tastings through the incredible Douro Valley and Douro region. And your clients and guests can even do 3 days afterwards, post-cruise in Lisbon. So we do have a 3-day post-extension in Lisbon, Portugal as well. We have some amazing onboard entertainment. There's a Fado show, which is the very unique and famous music that they have in Portugal. We have a flamenco dancing show on board as well, since we are going into Spain, into Salamanca, Spain. So some great onboard experiences and entertainment for your clients and guests. And then the SS Sphinx, once again, she will be debuting later on this year. Our first departure is on October 30th. So we're very excited for her to be debuting with only 84 guests on board with about 58 employees. And once again, this is going to be a 12-day itinerary. We start off in Cairo and end in Cairo. So it is round trip Cairo, but the cruise portion is just going to be 7 days down the Nile River. And once again, some incredible excursions where we're visiting the pyramids of Giza, the Great Sphinx, of course. We visit the Luxor Temple after hours with an Egyptologist, the Valley of the Kings. So a lot of great monuments and excursions for your clients and guests to enjoy. And then as far as our itineraries, we have some great brand new itineraries, such as the Cruise and Rail itinerary that is actually operating right now and just debuted this year, which I'll go over in a couple slides. The classic Germany and Amsterdam, the Rhine Mine and Danube discovery in Peruvian Amazon, on the beautiful Aria Amazon as well, which I'll go over in a few slides. But I do want to start off with our Cruise and Rail program. So she actually debuted last month. We've partnered with the Golden Eagle Danube Express. So they're an all-inclusive experience, so very similar to Uniworld, where everything on board the train is going to be included for your clients. So the culinary would be included, the premium alcohol, the entertainment, even the excursions off the train would also be included for your clients and guests. So this is going to be truly that all-inclusive experience. It's a phenomenal partnership that we're very excited about. And the first itinerary that we're offering debuted this year, and actually last month, which is Milan, Venice, and the Swiss Alps. So this is going to be a 7-night cruise on board the beautiful SS La Venezia that I mentioned, and then 3 nights on board the Golden Eagle Danube Express, and then 1-night hotel stay at the Renaissance in Zurich or similar. So it is going to be only 62 guests that get to experience this Cruise and Rail program. So it is, once again, very exclusive, very intimate experience. And it is going to be 6 departures we'll have for 2022. We have 4 departures this year. Once again, this will be on the Milan, Venice, and Swiss Alps. So some of the highlights on this particular itinerary, we will be visiting the beautiful Lake Bled, the Julian Alps, and then Linz as well. So as you can see on the slide, the Schlossbrock Castle, the Hilltop Castle. So some great monuments throughout. And then brand new for 2022, we're going to have 3 additional itineraries. We are having the castles of Transylvania, Venice to Istanbul, and our Trans-Siberian Express. So I do want to start off with the Venice to Istanbul itinerary. And this is going to be very similar as it starts, because it will be on board the SS La Venezia for 7 nights. But then we're going to be on the train for 6 nights versus 3 nights on the previous experience. So this would be 6 nights on board the train. What's really phenomenal about this particular cruise and rail program is that we're going to be visiting 9 different countries throughout the entire 14-day itinerary. So we are visiting, of course, Italy. It starts off in Italy, but then visiting Croatia, Zagreb, Croatia, Bosnia, Belgrade, Serbia, Sofia in Bulgaria. So a lot of the capital cities of all these incredible countries. We'll be visiting Greece and then also Turkey. And the rail program does end in Istanbul, where we stay for 2 nights at the Ritz-Carlton in Istanbul as well. So a lot of great monuments you're going to be seeing throughout. This is great for your clients and guests that do want to visit several different countries. Once again, it's 9 different countries throughout the entire 14-day itinerary. And then our castles of Transylvania. This is going to be 7 nights on board the beautiful SS Maria Theresa. So she's doing our Danube itinerary, along with 4 nights on board the Golden Eagle Danube Express, and then 1 night hotel stay at the Kempinski Hotel in Budapest. And some of the popular excursions or some of the great monuments that we're going to be visiting is the Brand Castle, very well known and popular, known for the Dracula Castle. We will be having a Putzta horse show, so very, very unique experience there. And a lot of World Heritage sites, as I mentioned, the Brand Castle being one of them. And then last but not least, I did want to cover our Trans-Siberian Express. So this is going to be 12 nights on board the Golden Eagle Danube Express, and then 2-night hotel stay at the Four Seasons, which is in Moscow, a short walking distance to the Red Square. So we are going to be right in the heart of the city center of Moscow, staying at the Four Seasons for 2 nights, and then 12 nights on board the train. And this is going to be connecting Eastern and Western Russia. We have a lot of great excursions that would be included, and some of the highlights of the city tours is exploring an exploration of the Kremlin Fortress, a UNESCO heritage site as well. We visit a traditional Russian dacha, which is a summer house, and we get an insight into everyday life of a Russian family. We visit Lake Baikal, which is the deepest lake in the world and holds about 20% of the world's freshwater. So a lot of great excursions that would be available on this particular tour. And then we have our Rivers of the World cruise. So this is going to be a 46-night journey. It is going to be 9 different countries, 2 different continents, and this will be debuting in 2023. So this is starting May 20th of 2023 through July 5th. We still do have some availability for your clients and guests. Last time I checked, I believe there was about 8 staterooms left. Once again, this is going to be very exclusive. Only about 80 guests would be able to enjoy this particular voyage. And it is going to be 46 nights. The first part of the itinerary will be starting off on the beautiful SS Sphinx, doing 11 days with our incredible Egypt itinerary. Then we have our Switzerland and Italy on board the SS La Venezia, visiting some of the beautiful, beautiful Swiss towns such as Lugano and Milan as well in Italy. Then we'll be on board the SS Maria Theresa with the Hungary, Austria, and Germany countries down the Danube River. And then we'll be visiting France. So the 4th part of the journey would be on board the SS Joie de Vie, doing our beautiful Paris and Normandy itinerary. And then the last part of the journey will be on board the SS San Gabriel. And this is going to be doing our Portugal and Spain itinerary for 11 nights. So the entire journey will be 46 nights. But as you can see, there's 5 different portions, 5 super ships that will be that would be included on this incredible journey. And then we even have some mystery cruises that are available. We have 2 of them that just recently sold out within a couple weeks of introducing them. And these are mystery cruises. I actually don't even know the itineraries. These are going to be a very, very exclusive experience for your clients and guests, where we customize some brand new departures, some unique destinations, some unique excursions that would be included. So these are great for your clients that have traveled before with Uniworld, or even for first-time travelers that want to have a little bit different of an experience. We are going to have future mystery cruises available as well. And then I did want to cover some of the health and safety protocols that we have in place for 2021 and 2022 and beyond. So from a health and well-being standpoint, we do have something that's called ACT, Act Clean Coat On Board, our ships. And this is a coating that we have that's odorless, non-toxic, and most importantly, it kills bacteria such as COVID-19. So we have sprayed all of our ships with the ACT clean coat. We also are disinfecting all of our air conditioning filters upon embarkation. We have a hand sanitizer, face mask on board all of our ship, and even our motor coaches that we use as well. Some of the stuff that used to be in the common areas, such as the umbrellas, are now in the staterooms for guests to enjoy. The boxes that are used for the excursions are disinfected upon embarkation. There is no more self-service buffets during the lunchtime. Now our employees will be serving guests. And then some of the items that used to be shared, such as the salt shakers, butters, now are individual portions and individually served for each guest. From a social distancing standpoint, we do have reserved seating available in our dining room. So just a lot of great onboard protocols that are in place for 2021 and beyond as well. And then some great resources for all of our travel partners. We have our Uniworld University, and it goes over what's new for 2021 and beyond, some of those highlights and features that I mentioned on this particular presentation. But once you do become a certified specialist, you do have access to some of our great travel partner rates as well. We have our River Currents, which is a great booking tool and engine that we have for all of our travel partners to use to manage and make reservations on our website. And then some great promotions as well. We do have 2 different promotions that are have currently been extended through the end of this month. So one of them being a 2-category upgrade for 2021 departures. So this is going to be a complimentary 2-category upgrade on select departures for 2021. And then also a 50% savings for your clients and guests that have traveled and have booked for 2021. If they book a second trip and travel in 2021, they would be receiving 50% off as well. And then we always have some great promotions and discounts for our River Heritage, which is our past guest discounts with savings up to $500 per person on every trip. And then, as I mentioned, those incredible solo traveler promotions. The last thing I did want to mention is our early booking savings. So for your clients that book and pay in full for 2022, we do have some great promotions with savings up to 10% if they book and pay in full by the end of this month. And even for 2023, we have a book early and pay in full that is going to be available through the end of December 31st. So through the end of this year, we do have our book early and save for 2023 departures. Through the end of this month, we have the book early and save for 2022 departures, and then that great 2-category upgrade that I mentioned, and the 50% savings. So I know it was a lot of information. I tried to include as much as possible. I love this last slide. It is a nice little infographic that shows why Uniworld, why a river cruise. As I mentioned, we are going to be docked right in the heart of the city centers, one of the highest staff to guest ratios in the industry, the intimate experience, only about 120 guests on board our ships, and then the all-inclusive aspect that we offer with Uniworld. Everything that is going to be included for your clients and guests are one-of-a-kind ships, 24-hour room service that would be available, the gratuities, the airport transfers, the onboard bikes that we have, excursions, premium alcohol throughout the whole cruise that would be included for your clients and guests. So I want to thank you all so much, not only just for joining me on the webinar, for all your incredible support of Uniworld. We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for all the incredible support of our travel advisors and travel partners. So I want to thank you again for joining me on the webinar. At this point, I will open it up for any questions, and I'll turn it back over to you, Anna. Thank you again.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We do have some questions coming in, and I will invite them to keep on coming. Our first question is from David, who is wondering, how does Uniworld have capabilities on board for those passengers with disabilities?
Yes, so great question. So we do have, if you do have any guests that are confined to a wheelchair, if that's what you're referring to, or need assistance with mobility, we do have elevators on board our ships. A lot of our itineraries are in Europe that have cobblestones. So of course, if, I would just recommend it if you are having clients that want a particular itinerary, just to double check with our sales manager to make sure what itinerary would be best for them. But we do have elevators on board our ships as far as, accommodations, if that was one of the questions. And then of course, for the suites and staterooms, they are going to have staterooms and bathrooms that would be a little bit larger that do have access for accessibility for wheelchairs.
Okay, got it. Our next question is from Kim, who is wondering how many people constitute a group.
Great question. So for a group, it would be 5 staterooms based on double occupancy. So it would be at least 10 guests that are traveling. So it is 5 staterooms based on double occupancy. But if you do have any solo travelers, then it would just be a couple more staterooms. But 10 guests would be considered a group. And then we also have.
Got it.
I'm sorry. I was just going to also mention. We do also have some great group discounts. So some, of course, dollars off, TCs, tour conductors that would be earned, shipboard credit that groups that guests would be receiving. So a lot of great group benefits for all of your clients and guests.
Okay, perfect. Our next question is from Trey, who is wondering if you know when spring 2024 itineraries will be available.
That's a great question. We typically do release our itineraries about 2 years in advance, 18 months to 2 years in advance. So we just recently launched our 2023. So we hopefully will be debuting 2024, I would say, in the beginning of Q1 of 2022.
Okay, got it. Our next question is from Janine, who is wondering if Uniworld provides vegan dishes and if you can speak to any dietary restrictions in general.
Yes, great question. So as far as vegan options, we definitely have vegan options on board our ships. And we even have our light menus, which are those menus that our chefs do prepare with the same type of recipes and ingredients, just they are going to be a little bit lighter for guests. We have vegetarian options, vegan options, and even any type of request that might not be on the menu, our chefs can definitely accommodate your clients and guests. So if you do have any special needs or any special requests, they would definitely be able to accommodate your clients. We like to say that no request is too large and no detail is too small.
Okay, got it. And it looks like this is our last question from Maria, who is wondering if there's entertainment on board.
Yeah, great question, Maria. So we do have entertainment on board all of our ships, and we have local entertainers that come on board and perform. So just depending on the itinerary. So for instance, in France, if we're in Bordeaux, we'll have a cancan dancers on board. If we're in Portugal, we'll have the fado dancers or performers. We'll also have the flamenco dancers on that Spain itinerary. There's going to be all sorts of different types of onboard entertainment, and there are local entertainers from all those incredible countries and cities that we are going to be visiting. So just depending on the itinerary, there is going to be unique onboard entertainment accordingly. So great question. Yep.
Perfect. And those are all of our questions. So thank you, Eddie, so much for all of that wonderful information, and thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you so much, Anna, and thank you all, and thank you for your support of Uniworld. And please feel free to reach out to all of the sales managers, to myself. If you do have any questions, we're here to assist you. And thank you again for all your support and for joining me on the webinar today. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a great rest of your week.